Hey, long time no see. Welcome to Superpower Review, the show that brings you news and reviews on comic book things. As always, I'm your host, Kevin Vidini, and we're going to be talking about Amazing SpiderMan number 800 that just wrapped up last week. And to help me talk about this topic, we got my good friend Joseph Reed on the show. Joseph, what's up?
What's up, man? Pleasure to be back.
Yeah. So you were going to originally be brought back onto the show to talk about Venom number 2, but you got on even faster. So did you like Amazing Spider-Man number 800? Was it a good conclusive? What are your thoughts on it?
Well, I enjoyed it. You know, it's definitely a good book, but I feel like the hype that was building up for it, it was too much hype, man.
It was too much hype.
Too much hype.
Different. Okay. What would you like to see more of?
Well, I just feel like even though Norman had the Carnage symbiote, he was very reserved. It just lacked the grittiness that I was hoping for, and all the little pre-build-up stories they plenty gritty. You know, they showed the Carnage symbiote actually killed his henchman in the beginning. You remember that?
Yep.
You know, they set it up for a very dark and gritty story, and it just kind of feels like it fell flat on its face.
Different opinions for this time, I think. I liked it. I didn't really feel like I will agree with you seeing that. Maybe I would have liked to seen a little more of that fight scene, a little more of a better battle between Spidey and the Red Goblin, or the Goblin, whatever you want to say, because after all, he does take off the suit. I will have to agree with that, but you know, I wasn't disappointed. There was a lot of times in this book where I was reading and got really excited for certain little parts. You know, not everything in the book, but for certain little parts.
Right, and don't get me wrong, I'm not totally disappointed with it.
Yeah.
It was a good book.
Yeah, right. What other things did you think that could have been a little bit better in this book?
Well, they have pretty much Venom. You know, he's incorporated in the beginning.
Yeah.
And he ends up like going to go protect Mary Jane on Jameson's call. You know, J. Jonah called him to go set it up. And after the fight, he literally was like, "I'm gassed out. Take my symbiote." And it was just like, really? Okay. Just gave it up.
I can see your disappointments in that. I really can. I understand, and it made me think a little bit about it too. Like, you know, I don't think he would ever really give up his symbiote, but it was actually kind of cool to see Spidey in the black suit again. And I don't mean just like a cloth suit, but actually wearing the symbiote suit.
Right, and that was pretty awesome.
It was pretty awesome. What was not awesome was that they didn't do the original Spider, which kind of made me a little disappointed. I understand we have to do new things to keep things fresh, but I would have loved to see the classic Spider that you done on your shirt there, good sir.
Right, and that you would have figured that's what would have happened once he put the symbiote on, but it kind of did its own thing. And one thing that was really cool was to see him start to lose control and literally turn into Venom.
Yeah.
Eating brains. And that's like everything he hates about Venom. Yeah, see, a lot of people have pointed out, and I've also noticed too, which I don't understand, his eyes come off of him.
Yeah, I didn't really like that either. I thought that looked kind of goofy. I mean, Spider-Man's eyes are already big enough already. For them to be big and like hang off of his face looks a little too much for me.
Yeah, that's classic Ramos.
Classic, it really is. Yeah, but yeah, so like, you know, the whole like spider logo going over his shoulders, like I guess it kind of works in some kind of, you know, like we've seen it with Venom go over his shoulders. You know, I'm not totally hating on it, but if we're gonna see a reunion between Spider-Man and the symbiote suit, I kind of would have liked to seen the classic logo on it.
Right, and I totally agree on that.
Yeah.
But you know, it is what it is. Like I said, the best part about it was seeing him turn into Venom. That was really cool.
That was really cool. That was really cool. That was definitely a nerd out moment for me when I was reading it. seeing Spidey lose control of the symbiote, and the symbiote just kind of takes control of him and turning into Venom. That was really cool because we've actually never really seen anything like that in the comic books. At least I don't think so, right?
Right. Not as far as I can think. I've never seen Peter literally, well, except for the Ultimate Spider-Man, but in this continuation, I've never seen him have a mouth with the black suit.
Yeah, right. So those were definitely, you know, my like little tidbits that made me like when I was reading it, like, ooh, yeah, like really giddy. Those were like really good little tiny moments in my eyes, really.
Right. And the whole book is literally peppered with little tiny great moments. And then there's just a lot of one of the main things that I didn't like about it is the Goblin was just all talk. All talk. And it was just like, come on, dude. You know, you literally did all this crazy stuff building up to it. You've killed these other people. You killed the Goblin King. You're eating freaking rats in front of J. Jonah Jameson. And then he just seemed very reserved, like, okay, this is it. You know, these two are finally going to go at it. And he was just very reserved. And Peter literally tricks him into being like, oh, you're not going to get the win. Carnage is going to get the win. Everyone's going to know Carnage killed me. And he takes the suit off.
Yeah.
So it was just very weird.
Yeah. See, again, like I see what what you mean, because like when I was reading that, I was like, was that the best decision in writing this kind of book? Like, you know, with something so little as telling him, you know, you're not going to get the win. Carnage is going to win it. Would that have been enough to, like, you know, just, oh, okay, let me take off the suit and, no, you're crazy. I'm going to get the win. The Green Goblin's going to get the win. And I understand what you're meaning. And after a while, I just kind of sat back and I was like, you know what? It is what it is, whatever. I can see its creativity in it, but I also can see how, like, lame and, like, you know, cutting corners kind of thing in a way. So I kind of understand what you mean.
Right. And then at the very end, he literally calls himself Cletus Cassidy. So it's like some of the writing was just very jumbled. And then a thing that really confuses me is I read articles that this was planned years in advance. And I'm just not connecting the dots on how. I mean, was Agent AntiVenom planned out that long ago?
Yeah.
Just, you know, certain other things about it. Just
I was really thinking about it today before our show, actually. You know, it's an Amazing Spider-Man issue number 800. And I was actually really thinking about how long these writers actually plan to write out these books. Because, you know, we get things now, and, you know, I don't feel like some fans show enough appreciation when it comes to writing. They show appreciation to artwork, okay? They see the hard work there. But I really feel like people don't show enough appreciation to the writers themselves.
And that's the age-old curse of comics, man. Half the fans are in it for just the art. They don't read the stories. They don't know anything about anything. It looks cool.
Yeah, right.
That's pretty much, that's what the comic game has turned into now. They're really not relying that much on stories. They're relying on covers. And this is Dan Slott exit to Spider-Man, and it seems, I don't know, man. It's just very lazy to me.
So with you saying that, you know, Dan Slott leaving, are you happy or are you sad about Dan Slott leaving?
This is 100% true. Back in the day when he did the whole, you know, AntiVenom thing where they killed off Eddie Brock, I'm not sure if he was the, you know, original person to come up with that idea, but that made me walk away. Venom comics. I was that guy back then.
I was that guy as well.
Well, I eventually, after a little while, came back in, and I went back and reread everything, and got it all, and it was good. And then the Superior Spider-Man was coming out about this time, and I loved every second of that comic. And that's what brought Dan Slott to my attention. Everyone, you know, Dan Slott. I started watching interviews of this guy talking about Superior Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And it was good. And once it changed back to, you know, just the Amazing Spider-Man, I completely lost interest, like 150,000%. Just didn't care.
Yeah.
You know, he did some stuff with Venom, with the Venom Inc. and a couple other little things here and there. He's not my main go-to writer, so I'm not too, you know, hurt about him leaving Spider-Man. I'm just hoping the next guy that comes in is just like doing what Donny Cates is doing. We need good writers.
Yeah, right. You know, I'm not specifically sad that, you know, Dan Slott is leaving, but I definitely feel like it's definitely his time to go. You know, I applaud him for the long time he's been on Spider-Man. How long has he been writing Spider-Man for?
Man, as far as I know, at least over 15 years. Probably more. I don't even know, to tell you the truth.
Wow, that's way longer than I even thought.
Yeah, he's been writing for a very, very long time, and now he's going to Iron Man, I believe.
So, what did you think of Red Goblin itself? Did you like the idea of the Carnage symbiote going onto the Green Goblin? Did you like this villain?
Yes, I thought it was a really, really good idea. Like, trying not to cuss about it, it was that good of an idea. The whole thing. Usually, when they mix characters, I'm usually kind of standoffish. But the whole thing about this just made sense to me, just because Norman has been experimenting on symbiotes. He's no stranger to a symbiote, but he's never messed with Carnage, and that's what I expected was this to kind of backfire, and it did backfire momentarily. You know, his security guards that were faithful and served him forever. You know, the Carnage symbiote just slaughtered him while he was wearing it. So I was expecting to just have like the most rawest villain possible in Marvel Comics at that point in time. And aesthetically, I guess we had it or whatever. You know, everyone was really hyped, like, holy crap, is Norman wearing the Carnage symbiote? But like I said, when it came down to it, it just kind of fell flat. It was a lot of build-up, and I feel like the character is so ridiculously awesome that if they would have went, you know,
full force,
it probably, it just it'd be too gritty. And I understand that, you know, this book is aimed at kids and everyone of all ages, but if we could get like a mature version of the Red Goblin, it'd just be curtains.
It'd be mayhem, yeah.
And I like the fact that he incorporated the Goblin serum into the symbiote, which made it invulnerable to Sonics and Flame.
Yeah.
And that right there, it's just, he's always been testing on symbiotes, so seeing them two together was really cool.
You know, I'm going to have to go back to, you know, tell you, I was totally standoffish against the whole idea of, you know, a mix or a mashup between the Green Goblin and Carnage. I was the same way. I was like, oh, like, what is this? You know what I mean? And then it took me a while. I did get convinced to read the other books. And like you said, you know, it was really good and a good build up. And then, you know, even the design of the character, I actually really like the design of the character of the Red Goblin. I think it is a really cool mashup. You know, one of the cheesy things in this book that I actually didn't like is I didn't like the Goblin Child or whatever.
Yes, I'm glad you brought that up.
that was a bit lame. He does, you know, he's so menacing and so strong. You don't need a little child in a symbiote suit to help you out.
See, my outlook on it was, it made total sense to me. It was kind of like more of a psychological thing, like an attack.
Yeah.
But Carnage has been known to infect children before. Like, he's had a child literally eat his own father, like back in Carnage USA.
I remember that.
My only thing was, this little child goblin was just so like mean and nasty and vicious, ready to kill little old Aunt May, and then out of nowhere realizes, oh, what we're doing is wrong, and is able to overpower the Carnage symbiote to use it to fight the Red Goblin. And,
with love. It was fought with love, Joe.
Oh, facepalm, dude, just facepalm.
Love cures all, don't you know?
What's that?
Love cures all, don't you know?
I guess so. Maybe that's what Dan Slott was going for, but I'm not feeling it, son. I'm not feeling it. As a little kid, we saw Peter almost turn into his own worst enemy, you know?
Yep.
And then we watched a little child just go, oh, I'm just going to overpower this thing and use it for good. Like, I got this.
Right.
He still has the symbiote. You know what I mean? It ends with him still having the symbiote.
Yeah.
It shows it in his
little
eye.
remnants of it. Well, you know,
So,
as people always have had the symbiotes, they've always had a small remnant of it that, you know, they can't
right,
feel or see. So,
right.
so I don't know.
Just where the hell are they going with it? Is my question. Is are we
Well,
going to get this like superhero little kid Carnage, or are we going to get this
it's a
super?
classic writer's move, okay? It's a classic writer's move, especially with Dan Slott leaving, okay? He's just leaving that door open in case if anybody wants to use that in the future.
Right, and I'm going to use that as a segue into Agent AntiVenom. They could have left that door open because I felt like that was a very almost pointless death. It was unnecessary. Like I was expecting someone very close to Peter to die, not his childhood bully. So,
Yeah, I wasn't
and,
really expecting that at all either. I mean,
dude,
you know, we see the
I'm,
panel
I'm
of him like shocking him and like, you know, with his glove hands. But like, you know, when at the end we're at a funeral, I'm like, wait, whose funeral is this? And then it's Flash's funeral. I'm like, wait, Flash died after that? Like, how many times has the Goblin shocked people with his hands and they have not died, but yet Flash Thompson dies?
spoiler alert.
Spoiler.
But and that's the problem, man. It was a very just it was lazy, man. It was so lazy that people were messaging me afterwards, like, "So is he really dead? What happened? Like, what happened? I don't think he. I don't. People don't think he's really dead. It was that bad. Like,
Well, as we all know in comic books, when they kill someone, they find some way to bring them back. So you know that they're never really ever dead. They die, and I mean, look, it's happened so many times.
very, very true, and it might happen again. And I'm hoping because I'd rather see Agent Anti-Venom in a comic than the freaking Child Goblin.
Yes, indeed. I totally agree. You know, I actually liked the whole spin-off of the Agent AntiVenom. I kind of
Right.
dug it. I really did actually. Did I like it as much as Agent Venom? No, but it was just still a really cool different mashup.
Right, and the potential just it could have been he could have had his own standalone comic,
He
a
could
little
have,
mini
yeah, he could
series.
have. It could have gone
But
there, but it didn't go there.
I don't know. Um, like I said, man, it's a very good book. It's not like the worst thing I've ever read in my life. It's just a lot of really weird stuff that don't make sense, peppered with a bunch of really good moments. So,
Well said, well said. I totally agree. There are some lazy moments in writing. There are some good tidbits. Actually, the small little tidbits that I get actually were enough to actually kind of keep me going a little bit, if you know what I
right,
mean. But you know, I just have to say that the whole Red Goblin thing, like I said before, I wasn't sure about it, and I put my foot down like, no, I'm not reading this. This is bad. And then I finally was like, you know, Kevin, just read it. You need to read it. And I ended up doing it, and it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
it definitely had its moments. Me and a couple guys, I'm just going to shout out their Instagram names. The one guy's name I can't really pronounce all that well, but we all know him as Mr. Negative, and my boy Swing with Me. We've been talking specifically about the Red Goblin for months, and there was a lot of buildup. And once it all ended, I think all three of us just messaged each other like,
That was it. Yeah,
"All
all
right."
that for that, right? Yeah.
But my buddy, Mr. Negative, he literally predicted that he thinks that Agent Anti-Venom would have died. So maybe he does have some insider stuff. I don't know, but he called that one. And to me, even with after hearing him say that and then reading this book, I didn't see it coming. So
Right.
that was a good prediction.
So with everything said and done, Joe, as you know, in Superpower Review, when we give something a rating, we like to use the CGC grades. What would you give this book?
I'm gonna give it a 7.5 just to be nice.
God.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. He goes, oh yeah.
I'm telling you, I'm tired of this washed down symbiote comic stuff. We need what it really is. You know what I mean? Are kids going out buying $10 books?
No. No, they are not.
I think it's the hardworking man that's going out buying $10
Do
books.
kids even get lunch money anymore, where they don't have to buy lunch to go buy comic books?
Yeah, if they do get comic books, it's probably digital. So
Probably. You know, when it comes down to it, I'm gonna have to. I'm not gonna go as low as Joe, but I think I'm gonna go for an 8.5. I think that's fair. Yeah, there were definitely some lazy moments in writing in this book. It's there. It's apparent. There are some good tidbits that makes a fan kind of geek out, and you know, if you know your comic book history as well. I do like the mashup of the character. Did it fall almost flat on his face, according to Joe? Yeah, a little bit. It really did. But I did find the character Red Goblin kind of interesting, even though I was hesitant about it at first. It was a cool mashup to see what a goblin with the Carnage symbiote looked like. So it was actually kind of cool. So with that being said, that's my grade, 8.5. You gave it a what? A 7.5? 7.0?
7.5.
7.5. So, you know, it does have some of its lazy moments, but I will point out that Alex Ross, as always, makes fantastic covers. We can't go without this episode without talking about Alex Ross. Great covers by him, and it's been really cool to see him coming back on Amazing Spider-Man. Alex Ross makes fantastic work. Did you get any of the variant covers to this issue, Joe?
Oh yeah, I did quite a few.
Yeah.
Did quite a few. This is probably one of my favorites by far.
Nice.
This is from Unknown Comic Books. It's exclusive second print. I just got this in. I think I was talking to you about this yesterday for a little bit.
Yeah.
This one is really cool.
It is cool.
Whether or not the story is good or not, this cover is really cool. Like I said, I didn't know it was an actual art process using actual tiles. And once I seen that, it just made me appreciate it so much more. A lot of people say they go after the art. That's freaking art.
But I wonder how they make that an image. I'm sorry, we're getting sidetracked here, but I wonder how they actually make that an image and put it, on a comic book cover. Is it just
they take some seriously grade A professional photos of it. They probably
is it like a huge scanner maybe?
Yeah, pretty much. And then that's it. In the picture I posted, it's a huge picture frame.
Yeah, I saw it. It's beautiful.
So that's really cool. Real quick too, this cover, I thought this one was really cool. It's kind of hard to see with the glare.
No, I see it though. I get it.
I'm still working on trying to get this set complete.
Yeah.
This is the only one I got from it, so.
Is that Tyler Kirkham?
Yes, Tyler Kirk. But back to Alex Ross, man. Even the cover before this.
Yeah, that one was awesome.
It's a really good cover.
That one in number 800 is probably one of my favorites. But Joe, we're all out of time already, and these shows go by so fast. So I want to thank you yet again for coming on the show and giving me a great review on Amazing Spider-Man number 800, and always making it fun.
Not a problem, man.
So with that being said, what did you think of Amazing Spider-Man number 800? If you agreed or have anything you would like to say, make sure you make a comment in the comment section below. If you like this video, make sure you like it. And if you want to see more, make sure you subscribe. And that's going to do it, folks. I'll see you guys real soon.